The Stars knock off VGK in overtime on Wyatt Johnston's hat trick 4-3. Our recap comes your way next, right here on Locked On Golden Knights.
You're Locked On Golden Knights, your daily podcast on the Vegas Golden Knights, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Hi again, everyone. Tony Cardasco and Chris Golick. Golick, of course, the collectibles editor of the Hockey News, VGK season ticket holder. Thanks for making us your first listen every day. Find us wherever you get your podcasts. Please make sure to subscribe to our Locked On Golden Knights YouTube channel. Coming up ahead on today's show, VGK marches out prospects and WTH. What the Hanifin. My goodness. So, VGK last night with the L, the 21-year-old, he's 21 now, right? We have his birth date, and I think you took a photo of his ID. 21-year-old Wyatt Johnston came to Las Vegas, but not to party, but to score a hat trick against the Golden Knights. And the Dallas Stars prevailed last night. And his final goal, the game winner in OT, a wide open net. Let's talk about this game last night and your observations, first of all, Chris Golick.
Wyatt Johnston, I think May the 3rd, I think. I just looked it up really fast. So
happy pre-birthday, early birthday. Yeah. Most 21-year-olds are passed out in a club, when they come to Vegas, but.
I just read your thing, Ginsu knife wordsmith.
What does that mean?
Oh, yeah, Tony. Your open yesterday was crap, so people were dumping on you.
I was chopping it up. I really did chop it up.
Exactly.
I chopped them up.
Yesterday was a point lost, not a point earned. It was a point squandered. I think I'll start there. 3-1 lead. Dallas scores 3 straight goals to win the game. Credit Wyatt Johnston. Nothing wrong with his game. He played a great game, but just standard VGK mistakes, and it starts with the top D pairing. I know we're going to talk a little more later about that, but the top D pairing, it's just like
they were in the top yesterday. The top D pairing was the second pairing, I thought.
Yeah, I mean, okay, fine. However they take their line rushes, whatever, it doesn't matter. But point being is those are the top players on paper as far as the Golden Knights are concerned. And I compare this to when a goaltender is needed to make a save down the stretch. You need that one more save. The D pairing, especially Hanifin and Pietrangelo, one of the most expensive D pairings in all the National Hockey League. Now we're talking about it. What is that? $16 million on the ice every time in AAV. You need one more stop. You need one less scoring chance. You don't need to turn the puck over on the glass. You don't need to not be able to box out. And that's the issues right now, but we'll dive more into that later.
It was a quick start last night in the game for both teams. Eichel and Hurdle, they had goals for VGK. And I thought that Maverick had gone to training in New York. That was Maverick Bork. Okay, I got it. Maverick Bork, a goal for Dallas, and 3 goals scored in the first 5 minutes of the game. The start VGK.
4 goals, technically. One got disallowed.
That's right. 4 goals technically. 1 was offside. The start that VGK was looking for in this game, and then Pavel Dorofeev on the power play, his 10th power play goal of the season, goal number 22. Can't say enough about him. But VGK goes up 3-1. And how does VGK allow Dallas to get back into this game? That's the big question here.
Start with Dorofeev's goal. It was an accidental goal. It was pretty funny. He was shooting the puck on net. He had the whole right side of the net, and he flubbed it, and it basically still went off the inside of Ottinger's pads and went in. And that's what happens when you're playing well. The puck just has a way of finding the back of the net. The question was, how did the Golden Knights do this? I don't know. I mean, it's a veteran group just making silly, careless mistakes on the first goal, right? I mean, on the first goal here, Pietrangelo has the puck on the boards, chips it up the boards, and while it's hard not blaming Pietrangelo and Hanifin, you have Brett Howden who doesn't corral the puck coming up the boards. It goes to Heiskanen, gets down low, and then here we are. You can certainly also talk about Hanifin and Pietrangelo not boxing out as well. Hannifin's kind of caught in no man's land, so that's the first one. You got a shorthanded goal. These are going to happen. I actually liked Rupe Hintz on that play. He was shooting for a rebound. He shot low, and there's a Wyatt Johnson. That's a goal that's going to happen. Like, whatever to that. Let's see here. The third goal. Where'd it go? The third goal. Here it comes. Wyatt scores again. How does this one get in there? What happens? Coming up, transition. Oh, Wyatt Johnson. Yeah, this is Noah Hanifin and Pietrangelo not defending off of the rush, not defending well enough. Good shots. And then the overtime goal. I mean, listen, people are on Theodore for not finishing. Breakaways are a 50-50 prop, maybe even more tilted towards the goalie. Theodore's a good finisher. He made a good attempt. Ottinger made a good save. Second time Ottinger's made a big save to save his team possibly a point. And then people are saying how out of position Aiden Hill was. He was a little bit out of position. It looked bad on the overtime goal, but he's selling out. He's got two world-class players coming down, at least one in Wyatt Johnston, and he's doing his part trying to sell out. They made one more save, or they made one more pass, and winds up in the back of the net. So what are you going to do?
Boy, were we right about giving Aiden Hill more starts. And
he was fine last night. He was fine.
It was okay last night, but
I'd say better than okay. He was good.
Yeah. Will they give him one more start now against CBJ?
Or no, they're just CBJ is a lesser opponent. Even no disrespect to him, it's just the reality.
No disrespect, even though they're a playoff team. Okay,
they are a playoff team, absolutely, but they're not the Dallas Stars. And 3 in a row, I feel, and Coach Cassidy did allude to that in the pregame presser, I believe, talking about the balance. You want to get the one goalie going, but in the same breath, you can't forget about Sammy and Coach Cassidy's words. So yeah, make sure we have a time earmarked for that Mark Stone situation.
Yeah, we are. Okay. That's my next topic here, but I just wanted to continue. Away. Oh, they were bumping into Hill last night early on.
Hill was getting pissed. Hill was getting
really mad because they were hitting him. And, as a matter of fact, when I went to the playoff game at T-Mobile Arena last season, right, against the Stars, it was Hill who was in net, and he was clearing guys out, and he was getting a little feisty in that game too, now that I think about it. So against Dallas, they know how to attack him with the puck and then bodying him up in the crease. And it's up to VGK again, not only to just box out, they got to start boxing in front of the net. They have to start fighting for a position in front of the net and say, stay off of our goalie.
Yeah, no, everything is accurate there, what you just said. There was some incidental contact. I think it was Pietrangelo that pushed one of the Stars players into Aiden Hill. That's going to happen. Then there was some incidental contact where Aiden Hill comes to the edge of the crease, and there's a little bit of contact. And I didn't necessarily see it as an interference situation, but, it's contact. It's hockey. It's going to happen. And goalies are going to complain anytime they get touched. That's their job. It's okay. But in the same breath, Aiden needs to keep his composure as well. And I don't mind him working the referees a little bit there and making his perspective known too. So it was fine. I mean, I said Aiden was fine last night. Aiden was decent. He wasn't bad by any means. He was decent.
Okay, so that brings us. We have to talk about this collision between Mark Stone and Miro Heiskanen, who got hit in the knee. I call him Niskanen, and then so Rupe Hintz. It appeared as though he clipped a little bit of Mark Stone's skate, but then Stone he goes flying. I don't know intentionally or not. It appeared as though he lunged at Heiskanen and got him right there on the knee, on the left knee. And then we saw Heiskanen go down the tunnel, and Heiskanen was telling the Dallas Stars, who really wanted to scramble with him and get after it, after that hit, which they thought was illegal, is like, hey, no, Rupe Hintz, he tripped me on the skate, on my left foot, on my left skate, and I went flying into him. I didn't think, first of all, again, okay, it's accidental, and Stone clears that up, right? But to me, there was just a little bit more to that hit from Stone I didn't think that, he was tripped up enough to go flying to that degree. What were your thoughts?
I mean, when you don't expect a stick coming in and you get impeded like that, Mark Stone's going to sell out for the puck, number one. He's got that long reach. We've seen him do this a million times. And in real time, when I saw the first replay at T-Mobile, I should say, I said 5-minute major, NHL Department Player Safety, going to call Mark Stone. We'll see where this one goes.
Do you think they will?
No, not at all. I don't think they will now. Once you see the replay, Rupe Hintz makes
I
an
watched it a
idiotic
dozen
play.
times. I can make an argument for each side. I really could.
If Rupe Hintz is not involved, this is a different story.
Okay, fair.
This does not happen if Rupe Hintz does not interfere or trip Mark Stone, however you want to put that. It does not happen. That's number one. Mark Stone is lunging. Mark Stone is trying to make a play. That's his job. That's his prerogative. And by the way, he gets the puck first if you watch this as well. He gets the puck first. That is the first contact as he is going to make that play right there. So I think the way you're going to look at this is, I don't know how the NHL Department of Player Safety checks their boxes when they decide to possibly call someone in for a hearing or simply issuing one of those fines that's $3,212, the maximum allowable by I don't know how they check those boxes there. But what I'm going to ask myself when I'm watching this is, does this play happen if not for what Rupe Hintz does? Rupe Hintz,
but it didn't appear as though he tripped him hard enough. Okay, yes, he is skating in, and
he jarred Mark Stone's left leg. He jarred it, and Mark Stone's going full speed trying to make a play too.
Stone's going 10 miles an hour. He's going
That's full speed. That's full speed.
Is right. It's full speed. Yeah, enough of the jokes there. But no, the way that he just kind of flies in the air, a little bit dramatic. I watched that about 10 or 15 times.
I've watched it a lot too. And
like I could go back and forth, though. I don't have a definitive answer for whether or not he maybe embellished it. I'm not quite sure what term to use, but
Mark Stone's trying to.
Did he Ginsu knife it, bro?
He's trying to make a play originally. He gets tripped up. And listen, I'm looking at this through the eyes of a VGK fan, follower, whatever the heck we are. The Dallas Stars fans are looking at this through the eyes of being a Dallas Stars, fan and follower, the media people for them. There's one local beat writer who broke this thing down at 10% speed and said, look at this frame and Mark Stone stretches and lunges, and this should have been a clipping and all that. And so I get the mixed emotions from both fan bases
from both sides. Yeah.
So let's take the emotion out and let's talk about what did happen. Mark Stone is penalized for tripping, nothing more than that. That's the first box that gets checked, right? You got 4 officials out there. They can talk about it. The linesman can give their perspective. Didn't take long for a trip to be called. And we're talking a league now, Tony, where the result is getting penalized more than the play. We've talked about situations where a player stays down and maybe it looks like a board, maybe it looks like a roughing penalty, maybe it looks like a check to the head. Oh, the player was down, he's injured, it took a second, he went down the tunnel. We're going to call a major and then we're going to review this. That didn't happen in this. That's very important. A major was not called on the ice in a league where they are defaulting to the major penalty more often than not. So they can look at, if you call a major on the ice, the play can be reviewed. If you call a minor on the ice, it is not reviewable. That doesn't mean tomorrow the Department of Player Safety can't look at this, or today I should say now, Player Safety can't make a decision on this, and they might. I give it maybe a 10, 12% chance that the phone does ring for Mark Stone, and it's either a suspension or that simple Mark Stone gets fined $3,000.12, whatever. But I think it's highly unlikely because you start this play. Does this happen if Rupe Hintz doesn't make a boneheaded play that might have cost the Dallas Stars their number one defenseman for the rest of the season?
Bruce Cassidy said afterwards about that third period, he said that Dallas Stars team had one good on-net look, and it went in. Not characteristic of what we hear out of Bruce Cassidy.
Me and Tony were talking about segments last night, and I pitched our second season as
I was already going to sleep, bro.
Yeah, no, I'm with you, dude. Yeah. So was I. I didn't even check the text until this morning. I pitched Tony on should our second segment be on Cassidy. So really quick, I know we're going really insanely long right now. Cassidy, when the team comes back to full health, makes the comment, could there be complacency now that the entire team is healthy? Okay, let's wait and see what happens. Well, there's a lot of complacency. Okay, fine. There was another when things were going bad maybe a week ago, they're still going bad. When things were going bad like a week and a half ago, Cassidy runs a short practice. Now there's players sick and injured and whatever, but they had a rough game. I forgot which game it was. And it was the Blues home game that they lost. they had a bad game, and Cassidy kind of takes it easy on the team. Okay, fine. Then we got a players coach all of a sudden. Well, last night, yes, Cassidy.
Wait. Go back one more day to where they canceled practice and they just
They
said they're going to
canceled
have
practice. There you go. Why
off
did that
practice,
happen? Who the heck
right?
knows
Off
that one? That's
practice,
another one.
yeah, off-site practice or something, or workouts.
Yeah, that's
Off-site.
another good question.
I don't
Why
think
did
they
that
had
happen?
any workouts. There was something so sketch about that to me.
Yeah,
but
no, you're not wrong. That's another thing. Thank you. And then the last thing is the presser last night. Coach Cassidy's making the comments like, "Oh, that's hockey some nights." That was obviously talking about the third period. His perspective is the Stars had one chance and they capitalized in the third period on it. It was 2 high dangers for the Stars in the third, 1 for the Golden Knights. 1 high danger chance for the Golden Knights in the third period in a game where they led at home 3-2 going to the third period and failed to score 1 goal as the Dallas Stars scored 3 goals. So I don't expect Cassidy to go in the locker room and start throwing chairs and knocking down the Gatorade bottle or the Gatorade cooler and all that stuff. But, Cassidy, when you watch his post-game pressers, he gives it to us pretty fair. He gives it to us what he's thinking. I don't think Cassidy is on the team enough right now. I don't.
yeah. Coming up next,
That was
it
long.
is trade season approaching, so VGK marches out its prospects to showcase them. We'll talk about that topic next, right here on Locked On Golden Knights. Super Bowl 59 is here. 1 game, 2 teams. I came up with a nickname for Kansas City. I will call them from this point forward the Kansas City Cheats, not the Chiefs. There's endless possibilities, right, in this big Super Bowl 59 game. No better way to make every play more exciting than with FanDuel Sportsbook. And of course, you could bet all those props. That's what we like the most. You can predict the first touchdown, call the MVP, even betting on the coin toss. FanDuel makes it easy to get in on the action with live betting all game long. You can adjust your bets as the game unfolds and feel the thrill from kickoff to the final whistle. Kansas City, the Kansas City Cheats, are favored by 1.5 points, and the total on this game remains stable at 49 and a hook. The live betting feature lets you say whatever you want to do, and you can stay involved no matter what happens on the field. And the app is so super easy to navigate. Plus, knowing that you can place just a $5 bet and potentially win $200 in bonus bets for the Super Bowl, that's what you need to do. Download the app today or head to FanDuel.com just to get started, get things underway. It's that time of year. A lot of folks go all in on the Super Bowl. I'll bet a couple of hundy on all these prop bets just for fun. Bet just $5, and if you win, you will score $200 in bonus bets. That's FanDuel.com. Bet with FanDuel, the official sportsbook partner of the Super Bowl 59. Back on this edition of Locked On Golden Knights, in the longest segment of all time.
Might have been a record.
Don't forget, Fridays are WTF. It's WTF season. In our third segment, it will be WTH Hanifin segment. VGK has had a number of pro sports. That's really good. Prospects, pro sports. I put prospects, and I'm saying pro sports.
There's all these prospects on my display. It does so.
Well, I'm the Ginsu knife wordsmith. All these prospects of late coming up from Henderson, and last night it was Raphael Lavoie on the 4th line for Alexander Holtz, one of our favorite all-time VGKers. This time to show again and showcase perhaps the assets that VGK has in time for the trade deadline on March the 7th. What about Lavoie and what about VGK? I felt as soon as I saw the word and you were out there tweeting about it, Lavoie, number 36, trolling perhaps VGK, what they do best. They're so petty. They're very petty. We know that, right? Logan Thompson's number 36. They bring up Lavoie a day after number 36 for the Golden Knights, a day after the official announcement of LT's long-term contract extension. Pro sports, bro.
Lavoie wears 36 for the Silver Knights. Let's start there. He was wearing 62 probably because that was the only jersey they had laying. I don't know why he wore 62 in practice, but whatever. Lavoie's game. Okay, you watched that first goal, right? His very first NHL shift with the Vegas Golden Knights. Not his first ever NHL shift, but his first shift with the Vegas Golden Knights, should say it like that. Gives up a goal. Was he late to getting back to Maverick Bork? Yeah, he was a little bit late, but I'll still ask why Pietrangelo and Brett Howden combined for 2 turnovers on that single play right there. Moving on from that first shift, here's what I liked about Lavoie. Win your races, check. Win your battles, big check. Coach Cassie talks about that all the time. All the time. Win your races, win your battles. Dude is 6'4". He's a couple pounds heavier than Kolesar. I think he's a better skater than Kolesar. I think he has a better head of steam once he gets moving. And listen, Lavoie, he's younger as far as that goes, not a lot of NHL games. So give him time to learn the NHL game a little bit more. But Lavoie, I felt, was factoring in the outcome of the game. That's the most important thing any forward can do, especially in the bottom, in the fourth line, on the fourth line. That is the most important thing any forward can do. Affect the outcome of the game. He created turnovers. Coach Cassie mentioned he created turnovers without getting stick fouls and penalties that maybe other younger players might do. You look at Brendan Brisson when he was out there on the third and fourth line for the Golden Knights last week. He was a ghost. He was an absolute ghost. What do you have? A 1 hit registered in one of the games and 1 shot in the other? We looked at the stats. It was terrible. So Lavoie understood the assignments, and he played a very good role, a very good energy role on the fourth line that created scoring chances. He had some good looks himself.
Okay, we talk about perhaps some of the assets coming up at the draft, the trade deadline. My goodness, dude. We go 15 minutes
He's got
earlier.
the knob blocks. He's got the yips.
We go 15 minutes earlier than usual, and I don't know. I'm still sleeping. So I was still dreaming about the 5th race at Santa Anita a couple of days ago. Really ticked me off. Tanner Lazinski has been up. You have Brendan Brisson. Ron Bjork has been up. Is he in that category as well? And who might we look for as far as prospects from Henderson coming up with VGK here right before this Four Nations nonsense? To make it even worse, ESPN last night, these are prospective lineups for the U.S. and Canada. Enough of the hype. No one's buying it. Anyway, back to prospects. The prospects.
They got to work on their name. I think Ron Bjerg was Ron Beer. Like Ron Beer.
Ron Beer.
He was Ron
nice.
Beer. Like Brisson the other day.
That's what I put Carrier.
Brisson.
I just barked back at Brisson.
I
barked back with Carrier.
That hashtag, that whatever that apostrophe is that goes.
I tried to one up you with Carrier. Okay, he's no longer with the team, but who might come up from Henderson?
It's that's the thing. So Brendan Brisson gets to the front of the line last week because, well, why not, right? I mean, Alex Holtz is all of a sudden falling farther behind than
as
Brendan
he should
be.
As he stinking should be.
But here's the question to ask here, and this is something. There's a lot of news all of a sudden. This kind of got dumped aside right now. How does Holtz go from playing on the top line to playing a good game? He played a good game. He played a fair game on the top line.
No, he absolutely. Well, of course, you're playing with 2 stars that
fine,
but you're playing with 2 superstars that make you look better. You're gonna. I might be able to skate with that top line and do something productive.
Good. But how do you go from doing that to getting a good secondary assists to being a healthy scratch the next game? What happened?
Attitude, bro.
What happened there? Something happened. Something happened. End of story.
Is that why they shut down practice the other day? Was he?
Yeah. Holtz threw a hissy fit when he knew he was going to play.
That's what I was going to say.
He dumped over the Gatorade cooler. So real fast here, Brisson, yes, he's in that category. Lavoie, I think, let's see what we got. Let's let other teams see what we got. Lavoie looked good. Is Lavoie going to be the type of player that the New York Islanders call about to help them make a run in April to the Stanley Cup? I don't think that's going to happen. But the Golden Knights are definitely going to start bringing these players up to see what they got and let the other team see what they got, because McCrimmon is limited on assets. Yes, you got a Brendan Brisson, you got a Travis Connolly, you got all these.
Oh, don't
listen, trade him. Beautiful, trade him. That'd be wonderful if that happened.
Yeah.
Going deeper, I mean, there's just not a whole lot in Henderson. I mean, Denisenko is still there. Denisenko put on the All-Star team for in the American Hockey League. That's his Denisenko of a season as you're ever going to see right there. Sapovalev, like, okay, 20-year-old, is he going to maybe get some attention? Ron Bjerg is only going to get traded for. Yeah, Ron Beer is only going to get traded for if a team is just looking for that depth piece. Think like the Teddy Bluger acquisition for the Golden Knights when they won the Cup, but it's a more desperate circumstance. No disrespect to Ron Beer, but Teddy Bluger is much farther along. Dyson Mayo, Mason Morelli, Cal Burke. I mean, Cal Burke's 27.
I like
so he's not
Morelli.
young.
He gave some good minutes, man, when he was up last season. I thought, and he was okay this year. I think he's been up once.
Yeah, no, and outside of looking at these players, there's just not much there. So march the prospects, see if you find a diamond in the rough in Lavoie, which the Golden Knights might have. Let's see how they line up Thursday against Columbus. But yeah, it's trade season. You might start seeing some players coming up that you didn't expect to get a shot, and that's because McCrimmon's looking to make sure the scouts see who the Golden Knights are considering trading.
Coming up next, what the Hanifin, another rough outing for the defenseman last night. We'll talk about it as we return right here on Locked On Golden Knights. Looking for Super Bowl tickets? Well, here in Las Vegas, the hottest ticket right now is for Kenny Chesney at the Sphere coming up this summer. So many ticket deals that you could look for at Gametime. Gametime with a new feature, and it's called Gametime Picks. That makes getting tickets for events even easier, filters out all the fluff, shows you only the incredible deals on great seats so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. And I was checking those Super Bowl prices upstairs in the rafters. You could probably get a good ticket for around $6,200. But if you're looking to buy, definitely check out Gametime because it appears as though they have the best prices. The super deal, especially impressive, something that we like, offers the best value for any event. The app's features like seat views before you buy, all-in pricing with no surprise fees at checkout, and this makes the experience very smooth and reliable. Plus, the on-time ticket delivery and the lowest price guarantee that definitely gives you, the consumer, the peace of mind. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Gametime today. Download the Gametime app, create an account, use that promo code LOCKEDONNHL. You receive $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, use the redeem code LOCKEDONNHL. That's LOCKEDONNHL for $20 off. Download Gametime today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed.
Gametime.
Back on this edition of Locked On Golden Knights, Tony Cardasco and Chris Golick from Las Vegas. We appreciate you making us your first listen every day. We are running so late on this show. So we do want to talk about Noah Hanifin.
10-minute segment by itself here.
Okay. Well, I'll wordsmith it, and we'll be up to about 15 or 20. And so Braden McNabb and Shea Theodore last night, I believe, were the top defensive pairing, at least the way that starting lineup came out. Noah Hanifin's struggles continue, as you mentioned earlier in the show. And he and Alex Pietrangelo, who, by the way, is ailing, has an ailment and is ailing, moved to the second pairing. Something against Dallas that really stood out in the two meetings. Hanifin, the last two within the past 4 or 5 days, Hanifin minus four in two meetings against the Dallas Stars. So we could start there. And I think that personally, I feel like Hanifin is just one step away from winning that valuable Anthony Mantha Award for the Golden Knights.
Oof, that's rough.
Yeah, it was kind of rough.
We never.
At least I spit it out, though. I didn't call pro sports prospects pro sports.
In that first segment, we never even talked about Nick Hague's assist last night. What a play he made
tremendous.
on one of the
That's
goals.
interference in any book, of course, but yeah, that was good.
No, Hague had such a good play on the hurdle goal, and wish we could have spent more time on that. But just
he got blasted at the end too, man. He paid a price.
Good, take a hit, and make a play, bro. All right, let's look at the minutes last night. First of all, McNabb 22 minutes, Pietrangelo 23:09. Shea Theodore was out there for 21:47, and Hanifin had 20 minutes right on the head. Something else that's just getting me here, looking at the stats overall. Pietrangelo is Pietrangelo's plus 11 on the season. Okay,
it was higher. It was much higher earlier. Remember?
Yeah, then they put Hanifin on his line.
Might have been about
on his pairing. Pardon me. Here, Hanifin is -3 on the season, which feels like it should be a lot worse than that.
Remember?
By the way, last
19,
night
-19, that stuff
on the hockey stat card, Pietrangelo is on the bottom. Hanifin's right next to him. Early in the season, Pietrangelo and Hanifin were not together. I think it was like the first 6 or 7 games, and then Coach Cassidy said enough of this. I believe it was Hanifin. And it was Hanifin. No, it was Pietrangelo and Theodore.
Right.
And that was an all gas, no brakes pairing. And that got changed right there. So there's a million different ways we can go with this right now. But Hanifin is a problem. There's no other way to put this right now. Hanifin is a problem right now. And Hanifin, Team Canada also, right?
And he's got his own pin.
Right. But is he a part of the Team Canada roster also?
He's on a roster.
USA, one of them. I don't know, whatever. I don't know.
I think he's USA. No, I don't know what country. Fine. Sweden. Is he on Team Sweden?
No, I'll look in a second here. But
I want to see that lineup for Team Sweden. That's what ESPN should have shown us.
Yeah. Point being is that Hanifin with that AAV, with what he was expected to do, and
the
expectations were local media was way too high on him. But his defensive responsibilities,
Kelly McCrimmon.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's your guy.
His defensive responsibilities are lacking tremendously. And you wonder if last season down the stretch in the playoffs where he looked good for a while, it was adrenaline. It was looking for a new contract. It was just getting adapted and maybe playing on the fly and not thinking as much. Now he's had time to learn the system. Now he's had time to practice and whatever it is, maybe Noah Hanifin just does not work in Coach Cassidy's defensive system.
It's not working in the system, in the structure. Absolutely not.
Agree.
And they tried to make so many excuses for it. Here's the part that gets me. They tried to make so many excuses for him early on in the season. Oh, don't worry. Hanifin is going to come out of this slump here, says State Run. Hanifin is elite. And when they start to use the word elite, then I do want to trade Hanifin from the U.S. team to Canada. That's when I want to put him on the block.
It is Team USA.
But at the trade deadline, trade him to Canada. Oh, no, it's too late for the 4 seasons, the 4 nations.
So, listen, Alex Pietrangelo withdrew from the 4 nations to deal with an ailment. Looks like it's a groin. I think that's
coming. Yeah, Ray Ferraro last night said that it was a groin. So
yeah, good reporting. That's fine.
That's good reporting.
The groins in Vegas.
That's all they did well on ESPN.
ESPN's terrible. Like they don't give.
Yeah, you got a good.
They don't give
I'll give him credit,
but
he's pretty good.
Who? Ferraro?
Yeah, I think so.
Ferraro's good. Right. Yeah, Ferraro's good. Everyone else can go back to broadcasting school.
Right.
From me.
Exactly.
Noah Hanifin, I think, should withdraw from the 4 nations for his ailment of playing bad hockey.
Oh, geez.
Noah Hanifin should not be going away to the 4 nations and doing whatever he's going to do up there right now. He needs to not play additional hockey and figure out his game, because Noah Hanifin is one half of the top pairing of a team with Stanley Cup aspirations, and he is a glorified Zach Whitecloud right now. Zach Whitecloud is fine. He's not great.
He's Mantha. He's Mantha 2.0.
Yeah, Mantha, I guess, right? He came in with
at this point. Yeah,
I forgot about Mantha because he was only high priced. You know, we didn't have any high priced talent on this team, and Hanifin is not. Listen, we're not talking a 10-game sample size where he's not playing well. We're talking 40. We're talking. Last time might have been game 50. If
they tried to interview him between periods so much early on this season, they tried to turn him into a PR star here in the city. And here's the power play quarterback who got sacked. They sacked the QB.
There you go, Tony. There you go. There you go.
I'm
I
in
like that.
Super Bowl form. I have to redeem myself after segment 2. So
Yeah. So just putting a bow on this, we're going insanely long today, but
yeah,
whatever.
insanely long. Yep.
Hanifin, just something is not working right there, and I don't know how Cassidy handles this stuff in closed doors. I know players have declined to even talk about Cassidy in anonymous circumstances. So Cassidy also has a side to him that a lot of people don't necessarily know about. That is a little scary at times, I guess we'll put it mildly. But whatever that side is, whatever it is, something is not working with Noah Hanifin, and it's got to get figured out. It's got to get figured out, or this team that does have these Stanley Cup aspirations, they're going to have to outscore teams 4-3 in the playoffs. And that's not a recipe for success to win playoff hockey, especially when you do have a goalie in Aiden Hill who maybe he'll come back to 2023 form and have that great, magical run, but it's unlikely. It's likely he'll have a good run. He'll make his layups and he'll give the Golden Knights a chance to win, but you need, just like out of the goaltender, that one more save. You need that shutdown ability from your top pairing, and this is on Pietrangelo too. It's not just Hanifin. Pietrangelo has had a very up and down year too, but Hanifin is the issue right now.
We appreciate everyone tuning in. On tomorrow's show, we'll have a preview of VGK. The G stands for groin. What's up with all these groin injuries? I thought they got rid of injuries firing the equipment dude. VGK, the Vegas Groin Knights against CBJ tomorrow.
Ooh, that's good.
That's sassy. That's
That's not bad.
we appreciate you tuning in wherever you're at, especially our everydayers. Don't forget Fridays WTF, Saturday sometimes the Chris Times Chris Jr. show. For my man Chris Golick, I am Tony Cardasco from Las Vegas. Have a great day, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow right here on Locked On Groin Knights, Golden Knights. Please take care.